We're going to just talk to William Timmons. He's a representative Republican from South Carolina. Representative, welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
You are on the Oversight and Government Reform Subcommittee. You're the chair of that subcommittee. You're also on Financial Services. But regarding oversight, I wanted to ask you about those strikes in Venezuela on the alleged drug boats. Do you feel that the White House has given adequate legal justification for those strikes?
Absolutely. I think the best way to look at it is what happened on 9/11. 3,000 Americans were killed. We spent $1 trillion in 20 years pursuing Al-Qaeda to avenge their deaths and to make sure that we were safe. So this is no different. 100,000 Americans have died every year for the last few years because fentanyl is coming into our country. And so President Trump got elected to secure the border, and now he's going across the border and he's seeking out terrorist organizations. The cartels are terrorist organizations. They make billions of dollars a year off of killing Americans. So we are appropriately holding them accountable, and we're not going to stop.
And when you say fentanyl, as you know, fentanyl mostly comes from Mexico. Would you be in favor of military action against Mexico as well?
I'm in favor of holding the cartels accountable. If they want to stop selling drugs to Americans, I'm happy to just leave it at that, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to take action against all cartels that are killing Americans. It's as simple as that.
And sir, you are a JAG officer for the South Carolina Air National Guard and a captain there as well. So I wanted to ask you about legal justification, specifically that second strike on the boat on September 2nd, and your thoughts on that.
I've heard a lot of different reporting. I'm unclear exactly what occurred and who gave what order when. So until I have that information, I wouldn't be able to give you a justification or any thoughts on it. But I've heard different reporting, and I think that until we actually understand exactly what happened, it would be premature to opine on it.
When you say who gave the order when, would that make a difference as far as the legality of that strike?
Again, I think I didn't have the information. I'm not going to judge an operation from an armchair. That's what the media is for. But I think at the end of the day, killing terrorists is something Americans have done for a long time, and it's something we should continue to do.
The Military Times has reported that a group of former JAGs have warned that the actions of the Defense Secretary and others ordering those special operations to kill everybody aboard would constitute a war crime, murder, or both. Do you have any reaction to that? I don't know if you saw that article.
I would be very interested to see how they're registered and what state they're from. Again, this is all politics. It's no different than the senators and House members that told service members to disobey illegal orders. I mean, this is all politics, and it's terrible because our service members are just trying to do their job. They're trying to protect America and keep us safe, and so to insert politics into it is not appropriate. Any illegal order should be disobeyed, but legal orders should be obeyed, and the military justice system exists for a reason. So again, this is all politics. And I want Americans to be safe. I want to stop talking to my constituents about how sad I am that their loved one died from a fentanyl overdose. So we're going to continue to hold the cartels accountable, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to keep Americans safe.
In February, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth fired the Air Force's and Army's top JAG officers, and he commissioned his personal lawyer as the Navy JAG. Does that concern you at all?
I've served in the military for 8 years now, and what the last administration did to our military is unforgivable. They attempted to use the military to insert their DEI policies, and the military has to be the last bastion of pure merit. And so I don't care what color the skin is or what gender the person is next to me, I want them to be the best. And we saw again and again in the last administration that they promoted people not based off of merit. And so, yes, we did have to make some changes because we need to have the right people in the right seat on the bus. And so, no, I have no problem with the Secretary cleaning house because it was long overdue.
Switching now to the war in Ukraine, Axios reports that the Trump advisors Steve Witkoff, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, have met with Russian President Putin in the Kremlin. Where do you think the peace plan stands right now as far as the Russia-Ukraine war, and if you worry that it leans too heavily towards Russia at this point, or what are your thoughts?
I think they're currently negotiating an end to a war that should have never happened. And again, bad administrations, bad policies have consequences. And the way that President Biden withdrew from Afghanistan is the reason that we're in this situation. So I'm kind of shocked that President Trump hasn't been able to end this war yet, but I have a feeling it's happening soon. I think it's important for people to realize that in the last 10, 11 months, the president has negotiated an end to 6, 7 different conflicts. So we are moving in the right direction. We are leading. Peace through strength works, but you got to be strong in order to pursue that objective. So the president is showing the world that we're not to be trifled with. Our allies, again, trust us. Our enemies, again, fear us. So it's going to take time, but we're going to get the war in Ukraine finished up, and the world's going to be better off for it.
And would you be in favor of Ukraine giving up territory in a potential peace deal?
I think there's always going to be push-pull on either side. The biggest thing is to stop having senseless death occur. So obviously there's different segments of Ukraine that have been occupied at different times. There's conversations surrounding all of that, and that's the purpose of the negotiations, and I'm confident that the U.S. is going to get the best deal that we can, and I hope that President Zelensky is coming to the table to achieve the objective of peace.
And finally, about the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies, House Democrats are pushing for a 3-year extension. Where do you stand on that?
Well, the Democrats' attempt to throw money at a problem is not the first, nor will it be the last time that's been their solution. Spending trillions of dollars on subsidies is not the solution. We need to overhaul our system. We got to stop treating sickness and delaying death and start facilitating health and wellness. We spend 4 times more than any developed country, and we have some of the worst outcomes. I mean, it's just shocking. It's shocking. Our obesity rate is tragic, and we need to use diet and exercise as the solution. We got to incentivize people to make better decisions. We can't just keep throwing pills and shots at it. So the answer is not more taxpayer dollars. We have $37 trillion in debt. We have major challenges financially. So throwing money at healthcare is not the solution. We need to really rework it from the ground up.
So as far as the subsidies, obviously you're not going to have time to rework it from the ground up before December 31st. So you are in favor of those subsidies expiring and then maybe working on a different plan later?
We have a number of different proposals. I'm not on the committee of jurisdiction, but there's a number of different proposals to try to address healthcare affordability. But again, throwing money at the problem is not the solution.
All right, that's Representative William Timmons. He's a Republican of South Carolina. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on.